We're always hearing about AI, right? It's often talked about like it's this unstoppable force of nature that's just happening to us. But what if that's not the whole story? Today, we're going to dig into a really powerful argument that looks at AI a little differently. Not as something inevitable, but as a choice that comes with a serious ultimatum. And right away, you get a sense of the sheer scale we're talking about here. This isn't just another shiny new piece of tech. People are comparing this to the biggest shifts in all of human history. And when the stakes are that high, well, it brings up a really important question. Is our future with AI going to be decided by just a handful of tech companies that are building these massive systems? Or should it be a much broader, societal decision? That single question is really at the absolute heart of the perspective we're exploring today.
Okay, so let's start with the basic idea here. The belief that AI and robotics are going to fundamentally change the nature of work for every single one of us. Not just for some people, but for everyone. This is being presented as a total paradigm shift.
And what's so interesting here is that the main worry isn't actually about the tech itself getting more advanced. It's about the fact that we're not having a collective conversation about it. The argument is that a change this big, this fundamental, can't just be left up to a handful of gazillionaires. It's something that demands a real democratic response from all of us. So that naturally leads to the million-dollar question. Who's actually going to benefit from all this change? And this is where the issue really comes to a head. It's presented as a fork in the road, with two very, very different destinations. They basically boil this whole complicated transition down to two pretty simple questions. First, how much value does our labor, what we do every day, actually create? And second, who gets to cash in on all the new wealth and efficiencies that AI is going to generate? And yeah, this slide lays out that choice perfectly. On one path, you have a future that's designed to benefit workers, and on the other, a future designed to benefit big tech and billionaires. And according to this argument, these are two mutually exclusive options. You can't have both. So here's what's at stake. Path 1 is all about using AI to protect people's rights, to uphold their dignity, and ultimately to make life better for everybody. Path 2, well, that's a future where AI could completely upend jobs and livelihoods, with the main outcome being to make billionaires even richer. It's a pretty stark contrast, to say the least. All right, so when you're faced with a choice that's so black and white, what do? Well, that brings us to the most powerful idea in this whole argument, the need to draw a line in the sand, to issue an ultimatum. This right here, this is the line in the sand. It's a simple, incredibly powerful, and totally non-negotiable demand about the very purpose of this new technology. I mean, that is an absolutely uncompromising stance. The technology has to serve the interests of working people, and if it doesn't, then according to this view, its development just shouldn't proceed, period. It's a full stop. Now, it's really important to point out this isn't framed as some anti-technology argument. The speaker is very clear that, for example, AI is not going to replace the professional expertise and dedication of a teacher. The goal here isn't to stop progress, it's about redefining the purpose of that progress, making sure it serves all of humanity, not just a narrow set of financial interests. But look, an ultimatum is just words unless you can back it up, right? So how do you actually enforce it? That brings us to the practical side of things. A serious call for regulation. So, what's the game plan? Well, the proposal is actually a really clear three-step plan, designed to turn this ultimatum from a statement into a reality. Okay, here's the plan. Step 1. Press pause. Halt the physical expansion by putting a moratorium on building new data centers. The idea isn't to stop progress forever, but just to hit the brakes. Step 2. Use that pause to write the rules of the road, and make sure that worker-focused regulations come first. And finally, Step 3. Unify. Stand together and be willing to actually stop working until there's a guarantee that AI will work for everyone. So where does all this lead? What's the end game here? What kind of future is this whole strategy trying to build? And this really brings us right back to the central conflict. On one side, you have big tech with its, quote, unlimited amounts of money and extraordinary power. And on the other side, the proposed counterweight is simple, but it's powerful. Solidarity. People standing together. And really, this is the optimistic vision at the heart of it all. It's a belief that if people do stand together, they can win. They can make sure these incredibly powerful new technologies are used not just to make a few people rich, but to genuinely improve life for all people. So in the end, it all comes back to that one fundamental question. Whether you agree with this ultimatum or not, the core issue here is one of governance. As this technology completely reshapes our world, who gets a seat at the table? Who gets to write the rule book? That's the big question we're all left with.